Kia ora and welcome along to the Met Service severe weather update for Thursday. We have got a bit of a change in the weather as we head towards the end of the week. Heavy rainfall returns towards that western coast of the South Island and some strong winds across the eastern side. So we are going to find some severe weather watches and warnings in place across the South Island. At the moment though, things are pretty settled across the country. A ridge of higher pressure with us, good clear skies. Down towards the south there you can see that cloud. That's the first bit of wet weather starting to make its way up towards us as we head through the rest of this afternoon for Thursday. And we find some heavy rainfall as we go through Friday. You can see that wettest area will be on that western coast of the South Island, Fjordland, up in towards western, particularly those areas south of Otira. And we are going to keep hold of some of that heavy rainfall and with some strong northwesterly winds as well. That will push that rainfall across in towards the headwaters of the Canterbury and Otago lakes and rivers as well. And it's worth saying that in amongst this, we will find some thunderstorms with some stronger gusts of wind and perhaps even some hail as well. So it's worth keeping up to date with the forecast as we head into Friday. But for that western coast, it is looking like a fairly wet Friday. We've got these warnings in place for Fjordland and up in towards Westland. And that's pretty much as we go through the daytime on Friday, even in towards the early hours of Saturday for those northern parts of Westland. And we have also got a warning out for heavy rainfall in those headwaters of the Canterbury rivers, south about Arthur's Pass, and a watch out for those areas down towards the Otago headwaters of the lakes and rivers through there. But fairly wet weather. Rainfall totals, 150 to 200 millimetres of rainfall about the tops of the ranges, lesser amounts down towards the coast. But again, with that risk of thunderstorms, there could be some pretty intense bursts of rain. So it's worth keeping up to date with the latest radar images as well. On the other side of the South Island, we're going to be finding some pretty strong winds. You can see the strongest winds picked out by the red arrows here. You can see as we head through towards the afternoon on Friday, those stronger winds return towards parts of Southland in towards the Queenstown Lakes area and also up in towards parts of Canterbury and Otago. So we are going to find a rather windy story out on that eastern side of the country. We've got some severe weather warnings in place for those stronger winds through parts of Southland down towards Stewart Island there as well. Also in towards parts of the Canterbury High Country and around the more inland areas of Otago as well. Gusts here, perhaps 120, perhaps even 130 kilometres an hour in the most exposed areas. So a rather unsettled story. Those strong northwesterly winds increasing to gale or even severe gale in the most exposed areas. You'll also notice we have a strong wind warning for Banks Peninsula. Again, gusts perhaps 120 kilometres an hour, not out of the question there. And we've also got those strong wind watches for the rest of the Canterbury region and down towards Otago. A rather windy story with those northwesterlies really ramping up as we head through the daytime on Friday. Now, with these kind of things, we could well find damage to things like trees and power lines, but it's also worth bearing in mind that with those stronger winds, it will make driving conditions just a little bit more hazardous. So do take extra care on the roads. And as always, please stay up to date with the latest forecasts, those severe weather watches and warnings. And you can find all of that information at metservice.com.